Hi guys, welcome to your August 2022 reading for Earth signs. We are going to be doing a three card spread and then clarifiers underneath. And basically, this is a reading that will help you to engineer luck and flow states in your life, to work with the tide, not against it, and then to basically get you in sync with existence in a way that is aligned to divine timing. You're working with nature's clock and schedule to do things as it's been um, scheduled to manifest by nature, basically. um, and then so no matter what happens, you're able to get what you need done when it actually needs to be done, rather than following your idea of when things should happen and then life making your best laid plans fall apart. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle some cards for you. There'll be past, present, and future. That'll be the main themes I'll be looking at, and then I'm going to do 3 rolls of the astro dice here. Okay, so right, just shuffling the cards. Oh, a jumper came out. This is a Ace of Wands. So this is a pretty good month for you guys, for the earth signs. Right, so this is for group one. This card reading I'm going to do, and then we'll go to group two and group three afterwards. Okay. Um, the descriptions for the timestamps should be in the comments below. Okay, so I'll pin it. Okay, that should be enough. The first card for you guys is Two of Swords reversed. Second is Queen of Swords upright, and then third is the Joker, which is be like the Fool in the tarot. So that's the past, that's the present, that's the future. The underlying issues, or the clarifier, is the King of Capricorn, which is King of Diamonds. Okay, and then this is the Page of Wands for the present. This is the underlying issue for this one. And then this is the Three of Swords for the full one. Okay, and for the Joker. Right. So this will show you the past that you come from, like you kind of been stuck in two minds about something. You weren't able to make a decision, so you're very much stuck in your thoughts this month anyway. You've got the swords here, here, and here. They all represent thoughts and being stuck in them. Not being stuck in them, but just working through them. They move really quickly, so usually you're used to things moving really quickly with your thinking, in terms of what you want. Know what you want. You usually know exactly how to value and prioritize it, but this is where you are having an issue, and you are having to systemize everything. This usually represents Capricorn, but it also has, because it's the 14th card in this suit, this is about things that have been manifested already, but you're trying to upgrade the things that you already have manifested, because the 14 adds to 5, but you're trying to make it so that it's sustainable, because in the higher level, this is like a 14, which is like Taurian energy. So you're trying to make it sustainable, you're trying to make sure it adds up value, so that and that one, Taurus and 2 here, it just adds emphasizes that meaning, basically. You're basically trying to find ways of making sure that things work better for your workflow. This is for you guys. It's just going to be quite a lot of different areas that are hit in this month, in terms of you being able to do things in multiple areas and push things forward in multiple areas, obviously to very different degrees. There isn't a particular emphasis on love, work, or your material life. There is. I'm just gonna go here just to get some more insight. So there's the Queen of Swords here, and this is about you being able. Usually, she represents the Queen of Swords would represent like Aquarius, and being able to move forward, and it's being systematic, but trying to make a new thing happen out of it, like tweaking the already done conventional way of doing things and test things out. In this case, because it's upright, it basically shows that you are able to get what you want done, and things are working. This is your long term goals. So for you guys, this will be within your third and seventh and 11th house, astrologically speaking, and that would be around desires and things that you wanted to do in terms of your short term goals, medium long and long term goals. But this is, it's like what you've wanted to be able to do short term, long term, and long term. Sorry, that you've been able to. It's like, you know, when you want to be able to be the kind of person who has a short term goal like this and gets it done, and then a medium one and gets it done. But these are all desires. These are very much things that are. So with the short term one would be more like Gemini. It'd be like in terms of your immediate social situation, in terms of being able to collect information, and whether it's through messages, contracts, and life admin kind of stuff, or it's around like seventh house, like business partnerships, regular partnerships, in terms of long term partnerships. Sorry, um, and one-on-one besties, like being able to have a medium plan, sorry, with that kind of person, and then being able to like pick those things and know that you'll be able to get a tick on them in terms of being able to get a rank. You are able to do all of that. Like, you'll feel like your brain is way better at being able to be focused. Now, you've come from a position of indecision. Now you're a lot more together in terms of being able to upgrade things. You've transformed something, because there's a 13th one, and the 3 is a Bavam of anyway, so that basically means it's a higher form of transformation, and you've got the courage to go through things now because of that, and you're able to kind of build that workflow based off of that. So whereas you've in the past you've come from a place where you've had to systemize everything in order to build it and move and upgrade it, and you've had to make decisions where you were doing that, and it kind of, you were slower at making those kind of decisions, if that makes sense, and thinking that through. Now you're doing things in mass on a big scale, in one go, but it's systematically things you've tried and tested, but they're kind of revolutionary change to you. So you've got a lot of serendipitous kind of feeling about your projects and things that you've wanted to get done, and your social life. Things kind of feel like they're falling in your lap more. Things are moving relatively quickly and quite happily for you, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, it feels like it's been through, you've had to be quite assertive about what you wanted so that you don't get used, or your time gets all used, or you're not physically pushed to go to places you don't need to or want to go to. So that kind of increases your level of feeling of luck. You've been able to use your insights into the information you've been able to get to make some real time decisions and medium and long term decisions to go for the things you really have your eye on. You've really kind of pinpointed that you really wanted. So yeah, this seems really positive for right now. In terms of where you're going in the future, okay, so you do have, like, you want to be able to go to, it's like you're trying to search for something, but it's not necessarily searching, it's just going out and doing things the way you want to. It's being new at something, but not knowing the territory. Like, being like a baby who's taking their first steps, you really don't know what's out there, but you're trying to go out there and enjoy yourself in a confident way. You The underlying issues you have come from some sort of, like, this doesn't have to be heartbreak. I know the Three of Swords is usually the one that everyone goes, but it can be you deciding to make it on your own, do things your way, um, fly the coop, if that makes sense, and it feels like that's where you're coming from more. Although you have had disappointment before, where you felt like, I don't agree with the way things were done before, in terms of where this reading relates to you the most, in different in areas, you'll be able to, because these themes will keep popping up, you'll be able to see that, you have been disappointed, you've had to take the courage to move on and do things your own way, after conforming to other people's ways of doing things before. it feels like you're moving in positively. You're not really, this isn't going to be a boohoo kind of crying yourself to sleep kind of moment at all. This is more a case of you doing things your own way. I'm just going to get some astrodice for you. Okay, so in the past you've got the seventh house, so this is really to do with one-on-one relationships, like even if it's just you versus a person that you're selling to, or a client or something like that, or a long-term partnership like Libra represents, the seventh house represents, or a bestie, or that kind of thing, or a strategic partnership. And then this, so the indecision was around what to do about that in terms of what you value, who you value, and trying to upgrade your material life and what you've already manifested. So it feels like that there is an element of someone previously getting in the way, and you having to, because you already have these rules in play, like in your mind's eye about what you believe should be happening, and this is the way to have optimism and happiness in my life. So you set these rules, but now you're using Saturn, which is the one here, to be the judge, and it's basically you acting like Saturn in the Saturnian kind of thing, energy, where you are saying, this is, I've set the rules out. I know exactly what this person is supposed to do, and they've gone past the boundary, and I'm gonna have one rule for everybody. So I'm gonna be fair about it. Especially Saturn in Libra tends to make you fair. Saturn in the seventh house. So it's about basically going, I have this rule for everyone else. I've been making this person the exception, and I need to shift that. It feels like with the Leo, this person has overstepped where it comes to your romantic life, or because Leo really represents your love life or your romance, or things that you're taking a gamble on. You have to kind of uh, throw your hat in the ring and try different ways for it to make it work, kind of thing. So anything where you've taken a gamble, um, so whatever the person has tried to kind of push you on, and especially in terms of your decision making, where you've been in two minds about things, it feels like you're putting in a hard boundary, and like restricting that. You are trying to make sure that they don't get in the way of your creativity, possibly as well, because it's Leo, or your some of you, it will be something to do with your bachelor's, or some kind of medium term studying kind of thing, like not your master's necessarily, but your something that's quite not the longest form of studying and you could do, but it's quite medium term in terms of it's quite long still. So yeah, I'd say you're able to figure out how to do that, but the connection that you have with this other person is very strong. So it's like, even though you're not trying to prioritize the other person either necessarily, this is still very much about you and what you want in your life, and where you want to go, and how you want to be systematic about improving things. But it feels like the feeling you have with this person is so strong, or the feelings that you have around this partnership, or the excitement or the buzz you get from doing your bachelor's, or the whatever your Leo representation is, if that makes sense, whatever is represented by Leo in your life is it has a long kind of hold on you, long term hold on you, and it does feel like that will trigger off these changes for you, because it makes you feel like the way the other person has reacted to these choices you're making has basically made you feel like I have to put a boundary up, otherwise they're going to mess up my decisions that I'm using to upgrade my life and my career, if that makes sense. So this is the past. This doesn't have to apply to everybody. I feel like this is for very specific groups of you, if that makes sense. Just for the Aphrodite, in terms of the relationship to the person who is trying to manipulate your decisions. Okay, so I'm going to do this for the present. basically, if where something doesn't fit exactly, don't take that message just in case, because this is a general reading for everybody in this who's chosen the second group. So some of keep what resonates and throw away the rest, if that makes sense. Right. So in the present, you've got Mercury. So this is about communication. Right, and it's Mercury in the 10th house in Aries. So you've got the 10th here, Aries. So you've got basically Mercury in the 10th house means you are more communicative around anything to do with status. So it could be a massive social status change, or your career, or giving more communication around your career, work environment. And that is about being more an individual, or respecting individual rights, or things like that, because it does feel like Queen of Swords means more like social change and social movement. So it does feel like there is more of a communication around that for you, in terms of presenting this is part of your branding almost, if that makes sense, in terms of who you're being to other people and how they see you as well, at the moment. And it does feel like you are, in some ways, is making you feel stronger about pursuing your own ideas, if that makes sense, things. And being you're talking very fast, you're communicating a lot very quickly, because Mercury in Aries tends to make you do that. And you're also able to defend things that you individually believe, because Aries tends to kind of defend things, and that's how your public persona is coming as well, in terms of how people are seeing you in the public eye at the moment. So whether it's just the people who see you at work, or people who you're out, when you're out and about in town, this is how you're seen, if that makes sense, this month. And then, right, we've got Mercury again, we've got 4th house and Sag. If you can see that, okay. So Mercury in 4th house, it means that in the future, this month, like, so what you'll be leading up to so far will be, Mercury in the 4th house makes you more of a counselor in the future. So even though you're stepping out into a new thing, it does feel like you will be trying to showcase more of your ability to communicate and create emotional cohesion. You're also building relationships, instigating relationships, because that's what Cancer really does. 4th house, and it has a Cancerian energy to it, and it's allows you to kind of build relationships through communication more, and it will be kind of hopeful, because it's very Sagittarian, so kind of has that whole it allows you to be able to be optimistic for other people, help them achieve their goals as well. So it feels like through you going out and doing your own thing, you are able to really help other people pursue their own goals and do their own thing. It feels like, where are you? Oh no, yeah, you're Mercury. So it does feel like you're able to then help you with communicating with them. The Sagittarian 4th house, you'll also be having more hopes about what you can do with your resources and your workflow, and your family, homework life, that kind of thing. So that's the 4th house. And yeah, it does feel like you might even, for some of you, this is for a small group of you, will be interested in making courses for things that you've researched for a very long time. Here, we have to get this into focus. So yeah, it does feel like that will help you to do that. For you, it could also be that you're doing a lot of paperwork around long-term goals, where you've had to put a lot of information and insights in together to make them work. So it does feel like that really helps you to move forward within your work life, I would say. And for some of you, it will be that you will be able to kind of be more optimistic about your home life and be more able to be grateful for what you have. You feel like you've got a place where you can feel like you let people into your life that you're trusting, into your private space, in terms of your home, or you know, even in terms of achieving your goals from home. You're like, being it's in that kind of optimistic zone, but you're also being practical because of the Mercury. So you will allow yourself to be that kind of optimist, even though you've come from disappointment before, and you've had to go off on your own. You do come in with a very optimistic, sometimes childlike, sometimes like a guru kind of mentality this month. So, um, yeah, it does feel like you do quite a lot, and enjoy this month basically. So I feel like that's the message for you guys the most. It will be a lot of instigation because of the Aries kind of energy with the aces. Um, so it's very much like you'll be able to get what you need. So I wouldn't worry too much about like the material front. Feels like it's a good month for it. Like in terms of staying in balance, staying in check. Um, I would say you just kind of need to continue with the way you're going about things. It does feel like you're able to work with some really long term goals properly and get what you want out of them this month, because you don't always get that opportunity. I do feel like you put things together in a way that you can, and you can actually enjoy them, and it will lead you to further enjoy it, if that makes sense, and you'll be really optimistic about how you go about it. Yeah, I just feel like you use what you know, you're systematic about it. Your the sense of enthusiasm comes in here as well with the page of clubs, and you are very able to be good at collecting information as well in terms of your new opportunities. Um, this is one of Three of Swords is also representing you taking an opportunity, and it does feel like you're more likely to take it rather than it just being handed to you and then you do nothing with it. It feels like right now things are falling in your lap, but in the near future, in the next few weeks, you will be handed one, but it won't fall into your lap. But you will take it anyway, and you will do something with it that takes guts. So that's how you'll have this optimism and this ability to feel like you can generate more communication, whether it's messages or like with all the Mercury stuff. So messages, social media stuff. You'll be posting stuff more. You'll be writing more, whether it's like in your notes or in your notebooks or whatever you do, however you do that. Okay, so enjoy yourself. It does feel like you're on a better trajectory than you were before, and yeah, there's a lot of inspiration here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna have a drink of water and then get into the third group. Okay, right, I'm gonna shuffle this. Okay, well, okay, it's past card is the Four of Swords, present is the Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords, sorry, and then the future will be the Seven of Wands. This is going to be the clarifier for the past. It's reversed Ace of Swords. This is the reverse of the Joker, which is the Fool in tarot, and then this one is the Ten of Swords um, for the future clarify. Right? Okay, so you have come from a position of in the past trying to get some rest. You've been burnt out. You've been trying to figure out what you how to improve your workflow and not be like a machine in terms of just work, 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 work. Um, you didn't cut off things before in the past in terms of you kind of needed a new beginning. The whole theme of like I need a new beginning. The thoughts around it were there, but you just kind of felt like these are because it's swords. It's around the third, seventh, and 11th house. This is how I read them, and then so that's anything to do with communication, neighborhood. Whether you've been around, constantly traveling around places, and then not factoring that time into your like work schedule so that you're burnt out because you're also making extra short journeys as well, if that makes sense. As well as your actual workflow is very hectic and you're trying to do a lot because of the you've also got the seventh house energy and the 11th. So the seventh is you're trying to move quickly about everything, trying to put things together for either for business for or for it could be also for some sort of partnership, or or trade, that kind of thing. Um, and then with the 11th house, it could also be you could have been burnt out because if you're trying to move up your career, whether it's to get promotion, an award, to network, um, being a very socially active or social movement or that kind of thing. So it feels like you didn't really cut things off properly, if that makes sense. And that's why in the present here, where you've got the Eight of Swords, you're in a position where you can cut. It's almost like you can step away from the things that have been restricting you, but you have to step out of what seemingly is surrounding you in terms of like you're trapped, but you feel like you're trapped, but really you can actually sidestep certain things if you wanted to, just be slightly awkward and to change things the way they are. But you're basically breaking down something that already works to then create something new out of it. And that's the present energy where you feel like you can't be as you want to jump in for and without caution, but you are cautious because of feeling restricted. Um, and but you in the all those areas I was talking about before, and but you can actually do this. You do have stamina. You built up the stamina after having rested. Okay, so this is you've got a better position of workflow anyway. You are going towards this seven of wands, or which is seven of clubs in tarot, and that's where you basically push for what you want in your projects and in your social life and in um, areas where you kind of deal with things that you have previously like fallen into your lap, but you feel like you have to impress upon your desires on someone else because it feels like it's a one-on-one relationship where you've had to feel like you've someone else is trying to push for what they want, but really you have to prioritize yourself, if that makes sense. And this could be someone taking up your time and energy before you've been trying to logically find ways because the swords are all about logic and thinking things through. You've been trying to find all the logical ways you can sidestep this person who's taking up too much of your energy and trying to manipulate your energy too much by making things about them, and you've been running around after them basically, not after them, but like trying to make them fit into your schedule by overextending yourself when they don't have to overextend themselves. And it's not really so much about like you fighting them over that, it's more you having to prioritize yourself. So it's almost like you're gonna like assert yourself more than other people feel like is necessary, but it's necessary for you to defend yourself that way. Otherwise, you feel like everything's out of balance for you. So, yeah, you basically, this does usually represent the month of August anyway. This is Ten of Swords. It's all about you being systematic. So the underlying thing about this defending your, what you need to do is really about like you trying to improve your career or your status in life or your work environment, and how you're seen as well, to a certain degree, in the sense of trying to not be a pushover about things, so that you actually get what you need done in those areas I was talking about in terms of this third, seventh, and 11th house. Um, so you're trying to make sure that you're not taking short journeys you don't want to be taking. You're not having to you know, do things unnecessarily in terms of messaging people more than you have to, just to get things done, or just to get them out of your way in terms of them trying to figure out what you're doing so that they can plan things around you. You're having to concede too much, that kind of thing. And that is in your business relationships or working relationships, or one-on-one relationships, basically, and in your peer group, or your social groups. Okay, so it does feel like there's a lot going on. You're gonna have to defend yourself, but it's not like it's dramatic. It's just you kind of had to do a lot of thinking through, so you don't shake anything up, because you're not out here to try and get drama happening in your life. You're really trying to think things through so much that you don't have to deal with drama, but you have to assert yourself so that you're not being pushed over, because before you've been trying to take the on the fence kind of mentality of like, well, I've got something to do. So someone says, well, I believe this, you just go, oh, okay, rather than like fight them on it. I feel like on this one you're just trying to make sure that this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I need for balance. And if they don't agree with that, you're still going to do what you want anyway. But you're going to follow your willpower rather than what they say. And you're not going to necessarily fight them on it, but you are going to try and make sure that you take actions that you are happy to take, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I'm just going to take some Astrovice readings from here. This is about the past. Okay, so you've got the sun. So this is where you've been burnt out, is also partly to do with you trying to follow your career. And Pisces is like figuring out what you need to let go so that you can have that space to think. Like when you have, you need room to be able to breathe where it comes to your work life. You don't have time to rest. You don't have time to be able to have creative ideas. And Pisces allows you to have that rest so you can have creative ideas, basically. And also to be able to then do something so naturally that you just comes from your subconscious. It's just like pops into your head. And you've been wanting to do that for a while, but you needed that rest to be able to pull that off with this card. And so this will also affect your second house, which is to do with earned income. It's about maintaining, and things that you wanted to manifest, or things that you've already manifested, and trying to make sure that there's some balance there, and you're making choices that way. So yeah, it should, and it will also help you to kind of speak well about yourself in terms of your career. Speak well about that, but you're also trying to this is the past. This is what's triggered you to make these changes, basically. But yeah, it'll be a very good creative phase from here in terms of creative problem solving, being adaptable where you need to be adaptable for yourself, for your own energy, but also trying to maintain stability in your life because of trying not to be swayed by other people and what they've wanted from you. Okay, this is the present. Alright, so you've got Leo, which makes sense in August because it's Leo month usually. And then Uranus and the 7th house. So this means you are going to have to break rank in your one-on-one relationships, because that's breaking rank, and that is relationships one-on-one type. Or it's like your Leo represents like romances, but it could also be your creative projects. It could be bachelor's degree. It could be astrology even. But you this is it, because you're doing this about this sign. If it means that basically you are you're trying to make sure that the sorry, it's like Leo brings about the reason why you're having to break rank. So it's your creative life, or your making films or whatever, or your all the other things I was saying in terms of your romance, love life, bachelors, creative skills. All of those have helped you to realize that you have to break rank with this one-on-one relationship in order to be able to get the time that you need to be able to fulfill the thing that you want. You see what I mean? So this has been something that's been an underlying issue that you've only just had to kind of confront, and it's come to the surface basically because that's what Uranus does. Um, but yeah, it'll make the awkward, uncomfortable conversation will be kind of out of the blue, sudden, won't be exactly how you thought about it because you spent ages thinking about it. But it will be necessary, and it will be something that it's almost like your higher self would know that it needs to be done, so it will just know when to do it. So you are trusting your instincts about that as well. So yeah, I wouldn't worry. This is all kind of, when that happens, it means that your highest good self, the best part of you that just kind of instinctively knows what to do, will step in, so you can have that awkward conversation without planning it too much. Even though you've planned it before, you'll it just pop into your head out the blue. Okay, so right, so you've got Mercury here, right, and the seventh house again, and Aries. So right, so here, this is the Mercury's communication. It's about you having to send. It's about the actual words you say and the actual things, the written text, the actual communication. So this is about the communication to the seventh house, which is the partner, the business partner, or it could even be a client or a stranger, someone you don't really know that well as well. But as long as it's one-on-one, that's all that counts. But it is about you being able to do things according to your energy levels, because Aries is all about energy, and you being able to do things within your energy or generate energy to do them. So you're having to defend that with the seven of wands, and you know, you being able to do what you want, even though someone else is trying to make you sit on the fence here. Um, you know, as well. It just feels like the communication will be quick. It will be really based off of what you want, your willpower. It's like you don't even, it would be very impulsive. It would just be something that just comes out of your head. And so this month, not beware, because it's not so much you have to beware, but you will be speaking straight from what you want. You'll be very direct. And you'll appreciate that because you'll be able to get what you want because of that. But the communication flying will be quite fast, so you'll be able to get quite a bit done that way. Alright, so let me just see if I've got any more messages for you guys. I would say, yeah, there's a sense of, there's not a lot of patience needed for this month because everything is very air signs or fire signs. Everything will pretty much move quite quickly when it comes to it, and that's a good thing in terms of this month will fly by. You'll get quite a bit done, but it is about being stubborn and systematic about things, doing things your way, and it feels like by doing that you're able to kind of enjoy the process more and not get stuck. It feels like it's a very liberating month for you. So yeah, hope that was useful, and let me just see if I'll just do one more general astro dice roll for you guys. Yeah, okay, so right, so this is kind of you learning to have faith in, it's not just faith, it's trust and belief in your ability to go out there and get what you want and need, and to transform things, and learning a lot about the blueprint of success for you, how to get that. It's like trying to build like an underlying process for you to be able to succeed. You might also be inspired to take a course that will get you to improve, basically certified enough to be able to upgrade your career, if that makes sense. So that's with the ninth house there. But yeah, a lot of this is about you learning how to be adaptable and letting things go that you don't want to do with the Pisces that Jupiter rules, um, and transforming all of this. It feels like, yeah. Okay, so that's your reading. Good luck with that. Okay, so I'll see you guys for the next month, and hopefully you will have a great one. If you need anything more, anything that you need to be able to get in contact with me will be in my pinned comment section um, at the bottom of this video, and it will show you where you can get other readings, and um, at some point I will update more information in terms of courses and things I'll be setting up. If you do want some coaching sessions as well, there's also going to be um, things up there that will help you to be able to get in contact with me to book that in advance. Alright, thank you. Have a nice one. Bye.